Hey, what's going on, guys? It is your good friend Matt. We are back again here today at the only place that we always can be. And as you already know, that is Matt's Wrestling Collectibles right here on YouTube. Today, guys, we are doing yet again another video on a predictions and review. Of course, this time for none other than Backlash 2025. And that is tonight, 5 o'clock. I think they're starting early because they want to kind of switch off between that and the UFC. UFC main card starts at 10, so I think that's why they're starting a little bit earlier tonight. But Backlash tonight, 5 p.m. if you're on the East Coast, and of course, Peacock, Netflix, all that great stuff. But we're going to get into the predictions right now. We're going to get into the card and the matches and what we think is going to happen here tonight as we catch up on a million other things. I've got SmackDown on the laptop over here. We've got some other videos on YouTube over here. We are trying to catch up on everything and keep these videos going. So, of course, we're going to get right into it here. We're going to do what we do best. We're going to have fun. We're going to make some predictions. We're going to make some calls on the night and see what happens, where we wind up at the end of tonight, see where we are, see how well we did, and of course, we will always bring it back to you the next day with the review of what actually happened. So today, the predictions, the pre-predictions. Tomorrow, it will be the actual conclusion to WWE Backlash. So here we go. We're going to start right off with the IC title match. It's Penta taking on Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio going to walk in and out the IC champion. That is my prediction, unless we see something happen. Maybe I'm thinking possibly does Finn Balor get involved? Does Dominic lose the title because something crazy happened? You know what I mean? The Judgment Day continues to implode, but I think that's going to pay off maybe a little bit later down the road. So I'm going to go Dominic Mysterio retaining the IC title over Penta, unless some crazy thing happens and we see an interference from the Judgment Day, mainly Finn Balor. Up next, we got the U.S. title match, Fatal 4-Way. I'm kind of not really feeling this match. I was hoping to see Jacob Fatu just, taking on LA Knight, in a rematch. But not that I expected LA Knight to take the title back, but I wanted to see the rematch. I think that's always kind of like been a thing. I feel like sometimes it's a weird thing in wrestling. Sometimes people are like, oh, there's the immediate rematch. Sometimes people say, oh, there's, back in the line, like Drew McIntyre was saying. So as far as it goes with this one, I'm going to have to say, now that we've implemented, like I said, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, Jacob Fatu, it is a fatal 4-way. Jacob Fatu walking in and walking out the United States champion. That is my prediction. I don't know who he's going to pin. That is to remain to be seen. But I'm going to have to say, maybe he pins LA Knight just to kind of really confirm that LA Knight's out of the picture. Maybe LA Knight moves up the ladder, starts to go after other things, and maybe even more so major world titles. But I don't know. We'll see what happens here tonight. I definitely think Jacob Fatu walks out the winner. And it's just, I don't know. The Fatal 4-Way thing, it's just, I don't know. I feel like we could have just put a whole nother match on this card and it would have made sense. We have 5 matches tonight. I was expecting to at least see 6, but either way, here nor there, doesn't matter. U.S. title match, Jacob Fatu walks in, walks out the United States champion, and he is going to obviously beat Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, and LA Knight. Up next, we've got Gunther taking on Pat McAfee, and this one, I hate to say it, but I think it's a very easy, clear cut. It's got to be Gunther. I mean, if Gunther was to lose this match by any stretch of the imagination, I think it's just a bit, bad for business all the way around. I think we see an incredible fight back and forth. I think we see an incredible match. I think it's going to be a great performance. I think Pat McAfee is definitely great at performing, and there is no doubt about that, but I think it's going to be a lot of almost miracles, but at the end, we're going to see Gunther take the win. So we'll see what happens there, but that is my prediction for that match. Up next, this is the one that's the toughest for me on the night. It's going to be the Women's IC Championship, and that's Becky Lynch taking on Lyra Valkyria. And I got to tell you, I really, really hope that they do not drop this title from Lyra to go to Becky. I really, really hope that they don't do that. But, with the way it is and with the way they are building up that, that 4 horsewoman whole, thing there. And then when you really think about it now, the 4 horsewomen at the time and when that was kind of coming back, it was Becky Lynch, it was Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte Flair. If I am correct on this, I almost positive that is the 4, right? You know what I mean? So much going on here. We're trying to put all these names out there. But so we had Becky, we had Sasha, we had Charlotte, and we also had Bayley, right? And Charlotte and Bayley and Sasha and Becky and whatever. All right, we're all there. They're all there. I want to say that they want to keep Becky and Charlotte in a position to continue to kind of ascend that ladder and be some of the top greatest women's wrestlers of all time, of course. But to give Becky this title, I just kind of feel like it's just pointless. It's just as pointless as them winning the tag titles at WrestleMania and having this even become something in the aftermath on the Monday Night Raw that followed. So I really hope that Lyra retains, and that is what leads us into our next match and the full sweep of retaining titles throughout the night. Dominic, Jacob, Lyra, and of course, John Cena. And John Cena defending the WWE Undisputed Championship against Randy Orton tonight. It is what has kind of been billed as their last match ever, and I don't know if that's 100% true. Do I think that maybe somehow they cross paths, one other way? They will do it somehow, some way, tag match, match on Raw, match on SmackDown, whatever it may be. I think they will cross their paths again at some point before this whole thing is up and done, but they are billing it as the final time, the last match between Randy Orton and John Cena. I really have to just say it's pretty clear-cut. I mean, we have to see John Cena win this, because where does any of it make sense to keep going? I mean, what would it be that John Cena now loses the title tonight, and then it's him versus Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam? I don't know. Could that be potentially a possibility? Could John Cena drop the title tonight, pick it back up again at SummerSlam? How wild would that be, right? And then John Cena would be an 18-time champion, and then he would be over Flair already anyway, but that's by WWE standard, by what the world considers championship reigns. I think Ric Flair is somewhere around like 22, 23, somewhere around that. I mean, same thing with Hogan. I think Hogan's like up there around like the 20 or 23 mark. I mean, it's crazy to think, what is on the history books and what is not. It's all written history by them, created by them. So it is funny at times when you do see some of the stuff that they kind of throw underneath the rug or push under the rug as far as what we've seen over the years. But who knows? Wouldn't that be crazy? John Cena loses the belt tonight, picks it up again at SummerSlam, and then becomes an 18-time world champion. That would be insane. But either way, that is the Backlash card. That is the 5 matches we get here. One more time, we run them down. The IC title match, Penta versus Dominic Mysterio. The US title match, it's going to be a fatal 4-way. LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest taking on the US champion Jacob Fatu. Gunther versus Pat McAfee. The women's IC title will be Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria. And the WWE Undisputed Championship will be Randy Orton versus John Cena. So again, we're going to run it down one last time here. It's going to be Dominic retaining the IC championship over Penta. We're going to have Jacob retaining the US title over Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, and LA Knight. We're going to have Gunther definitely pulling off that victory. It's going to be one of those, it was almost a miracle, but Gunther is going to definitely win that match. It has to be. There's no other way. It has to be, because without that, where does this story go? Where does it continue? Where is Gunther's stake and value now in the company as he becomes somebody who goes, wait, hold on. Thought right here in the process. We're right here in the middle of it, right here. We're doing it. What happens if Gunther goes on a massive losing streak? Massive losing streak. Now we're talking about him going up against Goldberg. So what happens if Goldberg comes out tonight and spears Gunther, and Pat McAfee picks up the win, and that sets up the way that Gunther and Goldberg go at each other. They have their match. And then it could turn into a possibility of Gunther going on this massive losing streak as Goldberg was on this massive winning streak. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? But either way, Gunther, I'm going to say he's going to still take the victory over Pat McAfee. But, hey, that just popped in my head. What if Goldberg comes out, spares him, Pat gets the win? What if it turns into a Gunther losing streak? Massive losing streak for Gunther. Who knows? But either way, women's IC title, Lyra's got to retain over Becky. It's got to be that. It cannot go another way. It has to be. Please, please, WWE, do not do it. Do not put the strap back on Becky. Please don't. Just don't do it. We don't need it. We don't want it. I don't think anybody wants it. So let's just keep it the way it is. And then WWE Undisputed Championship, John Cena, he's going to retain over Randy Orton. It has to be, right? It has to be the way. And like I said, unless something crazy is going to happen and Randy Orton wins it, and then John Cena faces Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes at none other than SummerSlam, it would be incredible. What a match. What a bill it would be to put up on that top main event spot. But hey, it is what it is. Who knows what's going to happen, but we're going to find out in only a few short hours, 5 o'clock tonight, whether it's Peacock, Netflix, or wherever the heck you're watching it. You already know it's going to be WWE Backlash. And as always, guys, this has been another predictions video, a review video. We will see what happens. We'll come back with another video tomorrow on what happened, the conclusion, and a little bit of WWE Backlash results. Obviously, that is going to be the main stake and point of tomorrow, so we are going to go with that. Until then, if you haven't already, get over to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you have not, also hit the bell icon. You'll get my videos every single day, and of course, we are posting videos every single day. As well, leave me some comments on this video. Let me know, is this something that you think is going to be a dud of a card, or do you think it's just going to be wild? What's your thoughts? I mean, my predictions are out there. Yours can be in the comments below, and let me know what you may think as far as future outcomes. Like I said about the SummerSlam match with Cena and Orton and all this other stuff that could take place, Goldberg, Gunther. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are thinking. And as always, I appreciate each and every single one of you for joining me for another predictions and review video. Again, WWE Backlash. We're going to see what happens here tonight. And until then, until tomorrow, I will see you guys all in the next video. Stay safe and stay tuned.